Hi, Julie here with paperbeadcrafts.com, and today I'm going to try something a little different. Something that I've been wanting to try for years, but I haven't really tried anything in it. It's called quilling. A lot of you probably already know what quilling is. Perhaps you've seen it. If you know all about quilling, this video is probably not for you. Like I said, I've never really done it before. I made a teardrop once. That was it. But I'm a paper bead maker, so I have a feeling that the skills that I have for that, I can adapt for quilling. And I want to make some snowflakes because they're gorgeous. The first time I saw quilling, it was a Christmas ornament on my aunt's Christmas tree one year, and it was given to her as a gift. Ever since then, I've been wanting to try my hand at quilling, and so I decided, let's get to it. So I've been watching videos, getting to know what's it all about, how to do it, what tools you need, and I wanted to do this without buying any new tools just for that until I can know whether or not I really want to do this all the time. And so the tools that I'm going to use for this is I have my glue. This is normal standard Elmer's glue. It's just white PVA glue, and I put it on in this little glue applicator from Xuron Corporation right here in Maine. And they do all sorts of neat tools and stuff, cutters. That's what they're really famous for. You can buy their tools on Amazon along with other places. They actually, I think, in my opinion, are one of the best. So I'll be using the glue applicator. That makes it a lot easier. You can buy cheap glue applicators for this. I've seen them online. Like I said, I have been doing research. I just haven't actually tried it yet. And they use cork boards, and this is an instruction sheet. These are the strips of paper. I don't think I'm going to be using these because I cut these using a guillotine cutter, and if you look carefully, they're not really all the same, so I'm not going to, well, I'll use these later on, but not today. And these are copy paper. I'll just put these away and use them again in a future project. And since I do make paper beads, and since I make templates, and I have a Pazzles cutter, I decided to make my own template, and I actually cut up these here. These are 1/8 inch, and I made a template to cut this, and it worked really, really well. So basically all I'm going to have to do at this point is just go ahead and cut these apart. And that one's a 1/4 inch. I'll use that for another project. It's perfectly usable. But for the snowflakes that I have right here from ontoannie.com, it calls for 1/8 inch strips. So that's what I'm going to be using. And these are cardstock. So a little bit more on the cutting, and then I'll get to the rolling. I also have one here that I cut in horizontal fashion, side to side to side, and I wanted to demonstrate how I got this off of my pad without ripping any of them, actually. And I saw this on a YouTube video. She does the same thing. I'm gonna have to look it up. Once I find it, I'll put it in the description, a link in the description to her video where I got this idea from, because doing this on the Pazzles was not my idea. Okay, so very quick, I'm going to use one of my needle tools. I make these available with my paper bead rollers, and I am going to use one of my own paper bead rollers to roll these up, 5/64 inch. There are quilling tools out there made for this, but I think this will work. So like I said, I didn't really want to buy anything special for this. So I'm going to go ahead and take this part, start taking the sheet off. And basically you lift up one of the corners like this. I'm hoping you can see me okay. And then you just hold it with one hand and pass the needle under the papers like that. And that seems to work. Works really well, actually. Just using your quilling needle. You know, that's really all you need to do. Makes it really easy. And the way this lady stored her strips is she used, she put them in a notebook in pages that were made from old negative strip pocket thingies. I'm going to have to come up with something because I don't have any of those. So I'm going to have to come up with another way of storing my strips so that they can stay pristine. And I can finish that, I can finish taking that off later. I just wanted to show you how I was doing it. And once you get halfway, turn it around and go the other way. And I'm trying to do this as fast as I can so I can get to actually trying out some of the coils. Now the snowflakes that I'm going to be making start me off with a teardrop. So, that's, I guess it's one of the most popular or the most used basic shapes. So that's what I'm going to start with. In fact, the snowflakes that I'm making, I didn't see any regular tight coils. So, like you do with regular paper beads. Alright. Okay, I'll finish that later. I just want to get on with the video. Okay. And also, one of the tools that they use is a cork board. Sometimes they cover it with wax paper. But a cork board, I guess, is you can put pins in it, and you use little, there's circle guides so you can get consistent sizes. And since like I said, I'm not spending any money, this is a drill gauge. And these are just some random rings that I found in my stash of craft supplies. This is a bone ring. They make them in different sizes. And these are just various miscellaneous rings that I found. Don't know where they came from, but that's what I have. And then you have the drill bit gauge. And I have my needle tool that I make and sell. And then I have tweezers. A lot of them use bent nose tweezers, and I do understand why they do, but I just don't have any. So, I'm not going to use it. And where did I lose my paper bead roller? Well, I must have dropped it. I think I got another one here. Wrong size. I just had it. Paper bead roller, where'd you go? Like I said, I'm new at this. Making these silly little things. Okay, where did my paper bead roller go? I've got one here that's 3/32. I'm going to try this one. Okay, first things first, I'm going to cut apart some of my strips. Okay. And you can do this, because the length doesn't really matter. Alright. And then cut this end. And then I'll have my strips. So you can buy pre-cut strips, but again, I didn't want to spend any money on this. So I made them on my Pazzles. That's why I did it. And I got my starter strips. Those are the ones I'm going to use. And let me pull out my instructions, which I tucked away right there. And basically, I'm going to do a basic coil. And it looks like I want to, if I want them to be all the same size, I'm going to use this ring. So it starts with making sure there's a hole in my glue bottle. Just stick a needle in it until you can squeeze it out. There we go. Alright, I don't want to lose that needle, that pin. And this plugs up on me all the time. It's to be expected. Okay. Here we go. First coil of my first snowflake. I think I'm going to make the small one, this one here. Alright, so we're going to get started with a paper bead roller. I don't think the center size matters because it's going to be a loose coil. So basically you just roll it up. And this says that it's supposed to be made with 2.5 inch by 1/8 inch strips. So maybe I should cut that. Like I said, I'm just learning. So I'm going to pull up a ruler. Yes, you're going to see my mistakes. Alright, so 2.5 inch by takes 12 white teardrops. I need 2.5 inch by 1/8 inch strips. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this down to 5 and then cut that in half. I think that's the easiest way to do this. Oh yeah, and I made these strips 11 inches long, so that way they'll be little waste. Okay, so Yeah, they'll be scrap. You know what? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow that close. Set those aside. I'm just going to fold these in half. I think the... Oh, come on. Why did you stop? I hope you're still recording. Okay. Now, I'm just going to cut some in half. And I need 12 of them. So there's 1. Alright. They're not exactly 2.5. These are going to be starting off at 5. Alright. There's 4. And then, so I have 6 strips here. So I have to cut each strip in half. So I can have my 12 that are 2.5. Yeah, that'll work. I should have gotten these all prepared, but like I said, if you follow me on Facebook, I mentioned that I'm going to be doing this, showing my process on film. So here we are. Okay, so I'm going to cut this. And I'm going to attempt to cut all of these at the same time to save time. Okay, we'll see. Maybe, maybe not. Alright. Okay, how long are these? These are 5 inches or thereabouts. Okay. You know what? It's probably just as easy just to do this. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I can probably get away with using these too to make my little coils. Okay, here we go. We're gonna roll one up, see how it goes. You'd think I'd never made paper beads before. Okay, let's get up close to the camera. Okay. And then we're going to roll it up. And you're not going to glue it down at this point. At this point, you want to hold on to it for a second, pull it off, put it down into one of your holes. Figure out which one you're going to use. And remember which one you use. That one looks like a good one. I don't see how they could do 2.5 by 1/8 inch, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, and then I pick it up. Gotta remember which one I use. I'm going to put this one over it so I can remember which one I used. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. And the glue already dried on me. Come on. Okay. And that is that. Okay. Let it sit a second. I would imagine that I could make a whole bunch of coils first and then make them into teardrops. Okay, there's one. Wrong tool. And all of you who are purists out there, remember, I'm just learning. If I could find my other bead roller, I'd be using that. It's got a thinner winding tip. Okay. In fact, I have an expo marker. I could go ahead and I can mark this so I can remember which one I'm using. That will erase. Alright. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to form this one into a teardrop on the camera. And then I'm going to go ahead, and since they're all teardrops, I am going to just go ahead and make all the teardrops and come back. And we'll assemble the thingy. The snowflake. There is the teardrop. Look at that. Look at that. Look how easy that is. And then you grab the other one and squeeze. And if you don't really like the way it looks inside, you can always grab your needle tool and just kind of fuss with it a little bit. And so when I get all 12 of these teardrops, I will be back once I get them made. Okay. Okay, I'm back, and I got all of my little tiny teardrops made. So I'm going to clear away some stuff here so that I can assemble them. Okay. Set that aside. And I'm following this plan right here. So let me grab my glue, put my ruler away, put this aside. Okay, so I can see that I've got 6 teardrops, and they all meet. The points meet at the center. So let me grab my teardrops here and start gluing them together. Looks like this is going to make a really small little snowflake. Okay, there's one. All right, and another set of 2. And then I'm going to do 2 more to make my center. Yeah, I think wax paper might be a little easier to work on. And this cork board is just a cork tile that I've had in my stash. I'm a crafter. I've got all sorts of stuff. Okay. Yep, okay. Let's glue these together. And this one. Teeny, teeny, tiny. I think I might actually make 2 of these and make them earrings if they're that tiny. And look how little that is. Okay, and then these here, I see how that's going. Actually, I think this type of craft is going to be easier than I thought. We'll see. Do this one over again. The glue doesn't want to stick. Well, good thing this glue dries clear. Where did my there's my tweezers. Let's try that. Not bad for a first try, I'd say. Very first try. I've got a long ways to go, though, before I'm really good at it. Okay, so that's my very first attempt. I made a teeny tiny snowflake, and look at that, it's tiny. Very small. And, yeah, an inch across. Look at that, well, slightly over an inch. So yeah, I think those would be worthy of being earrings or something if it will just stay together. I gotta leave it alone. Okay, that's it. I am done with my first project, and I'll probably make a pair, make 2 of these, and make a pair of earrings. So that's it, my very first attempt. Let me bring it up closer so you can really good look at it. Bring it right up to the camera. Oh, come on. Come on, focus, camera. Well. I'm trying to focus it so you can see it better. There we go. It's not perfect, but there you go. My very first project ever done in quilling. Which is not the same, exactly the same as paper bead making, but close. So there we go. That's it, and until next time, thank you for watching, and let's get back focused here, and have a great day. Goodbye.